Kavanaugh?
Just pick up on that and Justice Thomas's original question, because the separation of powers issue concerns me here a bit, which is the First Step Act was obviously heavily negotiated and very carefully, a lot of back and forth on that, and retroactivity is, of course, always a key element of the negotiations, as it was here, when you are making a change in the criminal justice and criminal sentencing laws. And so Congress specifically, I think, says this is not going to be retroactive to those cases where sentences have already been imposed. And then the Commission, though, then comes in and says we're now going to give a second look for district judges to revisit those sentences, even though Congress in those sentences did not want them made retroactive. And that seems to be, obviously the Commission was very divided on this question, and the Commission dissenters said this is a seismic structural change to our criminal justice system that countermands Congress's judgments. And that's my concern on this case, and I just want to give you an opportunity again to summarize why you don't think the Commission, by doing this, is kind of countermanded Congress.
There is certainly a huge difference between a categorical application of the rule, which we know from the crack and powder cocaine context, and a more limited case-by-case totality of the circumstances inquiry, where you look at the effect of the stacking of the gun charges on the length of incarceration. And I think it's reasonable to suppose that in the context where you're dealing with a categorical change that has a very large systemic effect, and amicus briefs on our side point to all the steps that had to be taken, none of those have been taken and need to be taken in the 924C context. And the reason for that, Justice Kavanaugh, is that we're looking and we're trusting district judges to look at this on a case-by-case basis to decide whether or not a sentence reduction is warranted in light of the totality of the circumstances. That kind of inquiry—
Do the disparities there worry you? Some district judges are going to treat this wildly differently than other district judges one imagines, in the same courthouse even.
I think that the disparities problem is one that ought to be concerning to reasonable people, where I think that it is an inherent part of the system of sentencing that's been part of our system for 200 years.
Fair.
It's impossible to say there's complete uniformity, and when you do, then we had our own problems with that uniformity.
Justice Barrett?